Hey, this is Lena with the Soap Obsession Bath and Body Shop, back at you for another soap making video. It's been a while since I've shown my face on camera, and I figured, now is a perfect time to do so. So this soap and the next few are going to be different than my normal than the normal soaps that I make. These soaps are sort of going to break some rules, things that are usually shied away from in the soap community. At least that's what what you're taught anyway. But there are things I've been thinking about for a while, and I decided, I'm just gonna go for it, have some fun, do something a little bit different. So that's what I'm doing. So today it's going to be a 60% mango butter soap. I have never actually soaped with mango butter. I've just strictly used it for things such as body butter, hair products, things like that. So this one is exciting for me, and I had a lot of fun making it. So I'm really interested, as you'll see, in how hard it gets, how it lathers, things like that. So there will be a lather test at the end of the video, so stick around for that. In addition to the mango butter, we also have castor oil, sweet almond oil, and what's the other one? Coconut oil. Yes, I think that is. Those are the things in this. And I do include some additives that, like, normal sodium lactate and kaolin clay. I don't use any milks, and I'll talk more about that in the video as of why. Again, stick around to the end for the lather test, and let's go ahead and make some soap. And today I'm using two fragrances I've used before, but I'm mixing them. This is the Sun-Drenched Pineapple from Bulk Apothecary, and then I'm using the Banana Coconut Fragrance Oil. So I thought these sounded really good with a mango butter soap. Again, I've used these before. This one by itself, I have a video up for that, and then this one I used in the bakery treat. Okay, I'm not using any coconut milk today, simply because this fragrance here, the Banana Coconut, has a really low flash point of 129 degrees. That's what it says on the bottle. So I don't want to put anything here in the soap that's going to make it heat up. Okay, and I'm actually, even though this is a lot of hard oils in there, I'm soaping kind of low today as far as temperature wise goes than I normally would. So right now we're at 73.5 degrees for our oils, and our lye solution I think is a little bit cooler. It's at 68.3 degrees. So we're soaping cool today, and I do want this batter to stay liquid, so I'm not going to do any more stick blending. I've already blended in the fragrance oil, and I've already blended in my kaolin clay. So I'm going to hand stir everything else. And for my colors, I'm using, I'm going to try this one again, the golden pineapple. In the other portion, just in case it does get kind of dark, I'm going to mix in with some TD with water. And I am going to hand stir that in, okay? So even though it's going to be hand stirred instead of blended, it should turn out nice. All right, so let's go ahead, let's get this lye solution in there. And it does have a little bit of sodium lactate in it, even though this is a harder recipe. I decided to stick with that. Alright, so we're going to hand stir this in. Let's go ahead, we're going to pour off for our pineapple mica. Alright, and I got some already mixed in with oil. Hopefully get a nice color here. Okay, it's probably going to be a little bit more white than there is with the pineapple color. And I want that color to be really pigmented. And add TD with water. Like I said, I'm not going to blend this with a stick blender. Alright. I do believe that it should turn out nice and white regardless. I've done that before where I didn't blend in my TD because I wanted it to stay really fluid. In one of my last videos, someone suggested mixing it with oil. This TD is for water, but next time I get some, maybe I'll invest in that, just getting the kind for oil. bit more, and was able to get a nice little swirl on top using my chopstick. I don't want to move it because it's still kind of, like you see, if I push it, it kind of bulges out. So I'm not going to move it, but try to zoom in for enough. Hopefully you can see that texture there. You know, it's nice now after it's firmed up quite a bit. So it looks pretty good. All right, we're back to cut our pineapple, banana, coconut, mango butter soap. And here it is. It has been over 24 hours. It is the next day, but over 24 hours, and here it is. Now, overall, it looks pretty good. Now, on the sides here, it looks like, you know, it looks a little rough. And I was wondering, why the heck is that? And I think it's because of me. I kept coming down here, messing with the soap, smelling it. I was like pushing on the sides, and so I think I messed up the soap. And it's actually a lot softer than I thought it would be, even after 24 hours. When I pushed it out of the mold, I even made a little dimple at the bottom here. So it's definitely not as hard as I thought it would have been after 24 hours, but I think what you see here on the sides is because of me messing with the soap. Alright, but I am going to go ahead and cut it right now. See how it looks, see how firm it is, things like that. You know, well, I can tell how firm it is. It is firm, but had I not messed with it, you know, I wouldn't have these sort of, you know, those rough looking sides. Alright, so let's cut it. Bring this back a little bit and see what we got in the inside. Alright, so that cut nicely. Oh, and that's a nice tiger stripe swirl. Alright, I really like that. And this golden pineapple yellow mica, it turned out wonderful this time. I used a whole lot of it because I said I don't want it to fade like it did last time. So I used more. It might fade some still, but it definitely will hold up, I think, a little bit better than it did the first time that I used this. Alright, I don't think I used as much as I should have to get the color that I wanted. So this is really nice. Alright. Oh, so that is great. This was at a great consistency. I didn't do any stick blending except for before I added my lye solution, just to blend in my additives, which was pretty much just a kaolin clay. I didn't add any milks or anything to this because of that banana coconut fragrance oil, and it is holding. I can smell it along with the pineapple. So it's a nice combination. Alright, there it is. That is really nice. Really nice. It smells so good. And here is our last piece. That end piece there. So this smells great. The color looks good. The top looks good. Alright, everyone, we are back to do a lather test. We're going to do the lather test on our mango butter soap. 60% mango butter, to see how it lathers. Now, only additives I added to this was sodium lactate and kaolin clay. There's no milk in this, so nothing, you know, extra to really give it a boost, like, you know, any sugars or anything, because kaolin clay and sodium lactate can increase lather just a little bit. All right, so we're actually going to be using this small piece here. I cut off a little piece, so I'm going to use this. And so I'm going to do a test first with my hands, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a washcloth. I wash up with a washcloth instead of just rubbing soap on my body. So I want to see how it works if you just use soap, and maybe just use soap when you're showering or whatever, and then I'm going to use the washcloth so you can see the difference. I don't have a loofah. That would be a good thing to add maybe for one of my next tests. Alright, so we're going to see how this looks. Not expecting a whole lot of bubbles, but we'll see. So put our soap in there and let's get to rubbing. Alright, so no, not a whole lot of bubbles. It's very creamy. Very creamy. Okay. All right, so it's got a little bit of bubbles, but mostly it's just very creamy. All right, and I'll go ahead and rub. See what happens if I rub a little bit more. Okay, I got a little bit more bubbles. All right, when I rub my hands together a little bit more. All right, so it's not too bad. All right, it's not too bad. At the beginning, it does, feel, it doesn't feel great. I would say that, but the longer you keep using it, the better it gets. So okay. All right. Now, when you use a washcloth, I got water flicking everywhere here. When you use a washcloth, your soaps tend to get a little bit more lather with the washcloth, I find. So, all right, I got it in there. Let's see what happens. All right. So no, it's not doing that much better. Okay. All right. So if I wipe it on me, there's some bubbles showing up there. All right. There's some bubbles showing up when I use the washcloth to wipe it on me, but they're small bubbles. All right. Now, some people do like the, feel of these butter soaps. It's not super lathery. Some people really do like that. So, soap might be great for, certain people. So, it's definitely worth the try if you like using butters in your soap. All right. So, that is our lather test with our mango butter soap. I think next time I probably would add some milk in it, whether powder milk or liquid milk, and maybe even a little honey or sugar to help boost that lather a little bit. So I think we'll be able to see more of a lather boost in our next one, I'm hoping, because that actually does have some of the extra additives in it. All right, so thanks for watching. Have a good one.